Hey, well, I realized that I haven't made a video in a little while, and that this is on my second video, so it's not like you have any expectations towards that. And by you guys, I mean the 2 views I gave my own video. So, realize that this is really no audience is actually receiving. The puppies are fighting now, so they're silly. Anyway, so basically today I wanted to tell you about a little bit about myself. But in the form of a story, I grew up in Paraguay, South America. And I doubt really any of you will believe that because I'm the whitest, least adventurous looking guy I know. But I did. And while I was there, I had some adventures. And one of them was a time that I went alligator hunting. Now, that time was, let's see, when was that? That was probably about, who cares? It was a long time ago. What did I do? I was on a boat working. Don't ask about that. It's boring. And I asked the guy, because I overheard him saying that he'd been alligator hunting, and I was like, I need to do that. So I asked him, I said, hey, you can take me next time, right? And he was like, take the skinny white American kid that doesn't know how to hunt, and sure, I'll take you soon, probably. So I was like, oh, yes, awesome. Now, I didn't really have a lot of confidence in the fact that I would actually be able to go, but it turns out that he meant it, and I was stoked, and so off we went. But, alright, I don't know about you, but when I hear alligator hunting, I was thinking like we're going to have a harpoon or like a net or something like really complicated and like hover boats and, I don't know, machine guns, something, dangerous to fight the dangerous predator. I mean, because I don't want to really sail into battle with absolutely nothing. But here's what happens. I get there and I look. He goes, all right, we got to go get a boat. And I'm like, awesome, a boat. We need a boat, like a speedboat or something awesome. We show up, and no, none of those things. It's this crappy canoe. And I can't help but notice that there's like freaking 4 inches of water at the bottom. And I'm like, okay, so is this like the practice canoe? Is this the one that I'm going to sit on land in and you're going to tell me what to do? They're like, no, this is the canoe. And I was like, oh. And then they're like, now we got to go find an oar. And I was like, okay, you gotta find something to paddle a boat that's only means of transportation is a paddle. Like, it seems like those would go together. And the fact that they weren't together was a little bit disconcerting. So finally we get the boat and we get the freaking, we get a gun. And I was like, yeah, gun. But then look at it, it's a 22. It's like the smallest, babiest, gayest little bullet ever. I was like, how are we supposed to kill alligators? Because I've seen some of the ones they brought back. And they were not that small. So I was like, whatever, let's give it a shot. So we go out there, okay, we're on the river, and we started rowing upriver at like 5, and by we, I mean I sat in the back, they told me not to move, and one guy rowed, and the other guy had a gun, and was sitting there up front looking menacing. So we go up there, and we park in the shallows, and okay, so right off the bat, I'm like, this is not quite going the way I was expecting. And then I realized that not only is it going a little bit differently than I was expecting, but we have to sit there for freaking an hour. So we're sitting there waiting for it to get dark, and the only thing we can do to keep ourselves busy at that time, shh, puppy, quiet, shh, is to freaking swat mosquitoes. Okay, hey, shh, shh. They love me, don't worry. They love me, I promise. Alright, so we go there. And we were sitting there, we're smacking the mosquitoes. There's like 7,000,000, bazillion mosquitoes. And, oh my goodness, I barely survived. And so we're sitting there, and finally we're about ready to go hunting. So we go out, and then they're like, all right, we gotta get ready to hunt. It's like pitch black, we have a canoe. I have no idea what we're supposed to do with this. I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? We're just gonna bump into them and then like pray they don't sink us and then shoot them? And he was like, no. And then he pulled out a flashlight, and he's like, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We shine it on the surface of the river until we see their eyes. Then we turn it off, sail towards them, and shoot them in the head. And I was like, right, sure. So what do we actually do? And he's like, yeah, that. I was like, okay. So we started, and it actually works really well. It's almost like they knew what they were talking about. And so we killed like 2, and they were little ones. They weren't like big. It wasn't scary. I was a little nervous when they bring a flopping alligator into the freaking boat, and then they stab it in the back of the head. I was like, what is this? And anyway, but it worked out. But then we saw this gigantic one, and it was floating right along the surface, and my friend was getting all excited, and he was like, all right, we gotta shoot it. And so he pulls out the gun, and he aims, and he's really calm, and pulls the trigger. Okay, this is the most terrifying noise I could possibly think to hear at a time like this. I heard, bing! I heard the bullet freaking ricocheting off the thing's head. And then there's a gigantic splash, it went straight under, and we're in only like 4 feet of water. And it was just vanished. And I was like, we're all going to die now. We're going to be that really sad story about the people that got eaten by the alligator. The alligator was literally as long as our canoe. I don't really know what we thought we were going to do with a .22 pistol. Clearly, they were ambitious. So, we ended up surviving. We never found that one. But by the time we got back, I was so mosquito bitten and tired and sick of water and also the piranhas in it. And mostly the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes suck so much. I was so sick of them that I fell asleep like basically instantly. And yeah, that's the time I went alligator hunting. I really doubt any of you will believe me, but it's actually true. Yeah. Yo hablo en español si no me creen. I do speak Spanish, so there you go. I mean, that's a native language there, so maybe that helps give a little credibility. Anyway, thanks for listening. I guess that's all. I don't really know what to call you. I think last time I said happy birthday at the end, so until further notice, I'll say that again. Happy birthday.